Janet was amazed by the wild and vivid imagination of Saint as she wrapped up the chapter. His creativity seemed boundless, exceeding even her own expectations. Determined to share his captivating story with the world, she decided to complete typing the scripts and upload them on the internet later that evening. Without any hesitation, she delved back into her work, eager to bring Saint's extraordinary tale to life for readers to enjoy.
Chapter 3. Inspector Lucky stood before the lifeless body of the woman, his mind grappling with the disturbing sight. His attention shifted to the young girl beside her, her appearance suggesting she was much older than her alleged age of 14. There was an air of detachment about her, as if she was in a world of her own. Lucky couldn't help but wonder if she was deaf or mute, given her lack of response to his questions. The neighbors' revelations about the girl's father shook him. They described him as an abusive and dangerous man, rumored to have an inappropriate relationship with his own daughter. The information spurred Lucky to call upon a non-governmental organization specializing in helping abused women and children. He hoped they could provide the care and support the girl desperately needed. As he waited for the NGO representative, a young lady named Sandra, to arrive, Lucky surveyed the impoverished neighborhood. It was a place riddled with hardships and despair, a breeding ground for crime and lawlessness. The conditions of the area seemed to breed an environment where people turned a blind eye to the horrors that took place behind closed doors. When Sandra finally arrived, her presence exuded a sense of confidence and capability that put Lucky at ease. She approached the girl with gentleness, introducing herself in a professional way. As Sandra comforted Angela, the girl's emotions broke through and tears streamed down her cheeks. It was a touching moment that left Lucky deeply moved. Sandra's expertise in dealing with abused individuals impressed the inspector. She astutely assessed Angela's emotional state and explained how the girl's face exhibited signs of self-hatred and shame, likely resulting from constant mistreatment. Just as they began to address Angela's situation, Lucky's phone rang, delivering news of another murder nearby. He excused himself to attend to the pressing matter, promising to keep in touch with Sandra. He also assigned the officers to maintain surveillance on the area and watch out for Clifford. The transfer of care to Sandra proceeded smoothly. She took charge, arranging for Angela's medical examination at the General Hospital. As Sandra and Angela prepared to leave the scene, Angela did something unexpected. She opened the back of a small television in the one-bedroom apartment and retrieved a wrapped object. Sandra was curious about it, but Angela remained silent, clutching the mysterious item tightly. Its weight surprised her, and she carried it with both hands. Together, they boarded a bus, leaving behind the wretched environment that had held Angela captive for so long. The call girl huddled under a blanket, trembling with fear, as policemen and onlookers scurried around the scene. She dared not re-enter the room after her horrifying escape, but others who had entered spoke of a sight beyond explanation. As the day darkened, Inspector Lucky and Officer Audu arrived at the scene. Spotting the call girl, Lucky approached her with concern and gently asked her how she was holding up. She looked up and nodded, indicating she could speak. She recounted the chilling events she had witnessed, black clouds entering both men through their eyes, causing them to remain still and lifeless in the room. Intrigued but not convinced her statement was factual, Lucky decided to inspect the room himself. The gruesome scene that met his eyes left him shocked. Both men had suffered fatal head explosions, and blood covered the walls and floor. He couldn't comprehend how this could have happened, nor could he fathom the cause of the mysterious black cloud. Struggling to keep his composure, Lucky returned to the call girl seeking more information. However, with only her testimony as the sole witness, they had little to go on. He assigned Officer Audu to lead the investigation, hoping to unearth information about the deceased men. As the forensic squad was called in to analyze the crime scene, Lucky was haunted by the eerie feeling that something evil, whether human or otherworldly, was at play. He asked that the lady should be taken to the police clinic for professional care, knowing they might need her help once her head cleared. With the scene secured and investigations underway, Lucky left the area, anticipating a restless night haunted by the unsettling events of the day. After leaving his home, Clifford hopped onto a commercial bike and made his way to Club 1, a popular bar and club in Federal Housing, Lugby. He relished the feeling of affluence that the place exuded and sought solace in consuming more alcohol. Once at the bar, he ordered a bottle of Big Stout and decided to call his merchant friend about the gold he had acquired. With his phone in hand, he dialed the number and initiated the conversation, wasting no time in informing the merchant about the successful acquisition. He boldly declared the new price of 10 million, putting the pressure on the merchant to accept. After some negotiation, the merchant agreed to the new proposal, and Clifford was overjoyed. He drank his worries away, wishing his companions Ocon and John were there to share the moment with him. To ease his loneliness, he requested the barman to arrange for a lady to keep him company. In no time, a beautiful lady joined him at his table, offering her services. They left the bar together, and hours later, Clifford found himself in a hotel room with the lady preparing to go out for the night. Their encounter was blurry to him due to his intoxication, but he paid her generously. However, as she was about to leave, a strange and ominous phenomenon occurred. A thick cloud of smoke emerged in the room, causing the lady to flee in fear, leaving Clifford perplexed and alone to wonder about the enigmatic cloud.
Janet had a great time reading and typing Saint's compelling manuscript, thoroughly enjoying the story and wishing there was more to type. She believed that the online forum's members would appreciate it and request additional content, hoping it would motivate Saint to complete the tale. However, as she was about to reread her work, her mobile phone vibrated, indicating an incoming call from Saint. After answering, Janet was surprised when Saint asked if she had already returned from church. Startled, she checked her wristwatch and realized it was 10:45 a.m., indicating she'd forgotten about Sunday service due to her immersion in typing and reading the story. Promising to make up for it with evening mass, Janet expressed her excitement about the story, referring to it as a classic. She was especially intrigued by the use of the name Abuja in the narrative, to which Saint explained that he included it based on names he had heard from friends, though he had never been there. Janet shared her deep admiration for the tale, finding it thrilling, and expressed her surprise at Saint's ability to craft such a storyline. In response, Saint playfully mentioned that one cannot judge a book by its cover. Before ending the conversation, Saint reminded her to attend the evening mass, feeling responsible for her church attendance being affected by their chat. After the call, Janet quickly connected her laptop to the internet and uploaded the manuscript to the online platform. She diligently proofread the content for errors before shutting down her laptop, preparing herself for the remainder of the day.